time now for our children's message. So good morning to our kids who are here, or for those of you who are watching online. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about how courage is part of our faith. So tomorrow is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and in addition to getting the day off from school, which I know is a lot of fun, it's also a day that we celebrate and remember the life and ministry and witness of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who was a pastor and a leader and a civil rights movement teacher and leader back in the 1950s and 60s. And one of the things that he had was a lot of courage. And he had the courage to stand up for what is right and fair. He had the courage to be honest about things that weren't right in the world and things that our society needs to pay attention to and fix together if we could and work together to make things better. He also had the courage to talk to the leaders of his day and the politicians of his day about those things and to call them to be more courageous and to make some changes. And that's really hard work. Yeah. So one of the things he also had the courage to do was to stick to it, even when it was hard, and to not give up, even when things didn't go exactly as he wanted. And I think he encouraged other people to have that kind of courage and stick-to-itiveness too. I like that word, stick-to-itiveness. Yeah, it's a good one to remember. And you know, one of the people who inspired Martin Luther King, of course, was Jesus, because Jesus had a lot of that same kind of courage too. And we heard a little bit about that in our scripture reading this morning. And Jesus said from the very beginning, "My job is to proclaim release to the captives, recovery of sight to the blind, freedom for all who are oppressed." Those are big things. Yeah, and those take a lot of hard work and courage. And so I think that Martin Luther King was deeply inspired by Jesus' stick-to-itiveness and courage also. And I think we can be too. Because the truth is, we're still doing that work together, right? Trying to make the world a better place, more loving, more fair, more just for all people. And so we take up the mantle and the job of those who've gone before us, like Jesus and like Martin Luther King Jr., as we continue to work for fairness and equality and fair treatment for all people, and we continue to build a loving community together where everyone can be at home and everyone can contribute to the common good. So this week, kids, tomorrow, maybe as you're off from school, have a little conversation with your families about how you can be courageous, because I know you're pretty courageous, actually. Maybe sometimes more than I am, about going out there and trying new things and doing good stuff. So keep up the good work, all you children of all ages. It's time now for our kids to head off to Sunday school with Mrs. Melissa, and I would invite the rest of us to turn in our hymnals to hymn number 566. Let us